Hey everybody, Sully Man here. As promised, today I'm going to show you how to use the layer pack I just came out with. It's got all sorts of effects. You can just apply to a layer. They're more production oriented to get work done fast and looking good. Um, the video actually was pre-recorded, so I'm recording the audio layer. So bear with me. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and click there, and I think right here I'm just kind of showing you all the layer styles. Got everything from gold to water, liquid condensation, burn holes, stone, ice, snow, slime, chrome, glows, neon signs, like old textured paper, torn flesh, chains, nebulas, and what have you. It's pretty versatile stuff. A lot of them I use heavily. The pack itself is it's only going to cost you $10, and if you think about the time you save in your work, if you do, like for me, I do T-shirt design, so it's always flames and blood splatters and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think here I'm getting started. So basically, just create a layer, slap on a layer style, and I'm going to offer up some free brushes. They're just brushes I've collected over time. A few of them I've made custom. The one I'm showing off right now is a smoke brush I found online. I forgot who actually created it, but you can find that one online. We'll use that one later. Now, getting started, I think I go with torn flesh. It's a cool brush, or not a brush, but a layer style. This is one of the few that you actually have to select the color you'd like to use. The torn flesh and the paper, I think, are the ones that you actually have to select the color. So I went with a kind of peachy looking skin. Now that brush set that you see right there, that'll be free. That'll be included in the pack, or you can just download it in a separate link. And as you can see here, I'm just using kind of a scratchy brush to do kind of like, you can see it's like a flesh texture. Like it was, flesh torn off the skin in the way those letters are shaped. Yeah, you just kind of paint them in. And what's cool is you can change the color on the fly. Go into the actual settings, or what I did here is just brought up hue and saturation, and you can see you can change the color on the fly. I think I moved it more towards orange in the yellow direction, brought up saturation. When I'm done, you just rasterize the layer, and it sets it in place. And I'll show you later on that you can use smart objects with this stuff, and it's really cool because it'll keep the layers intact and to where you can go back in and change things. But you can also just distort them at the same time. And generally, when you do that, you have to rasterize stuff. But with smart objects, you don't have to. So here I created a new layer that's below the torn flesh layer. I have 3 different types of blood. The one's a highly specular blood. There's a thicker blood, and then a really kind of boosted out blood. It's just it pops a lot of red in it. And the brush that I'm using with this one, there's a few. It's a kind of a scattered out splat brush. This is a drippy kind of stuff, and you can change the size. And this is a smaller kind of splatter brush. The dots are actually smaller. Yeah, you just kind of sprinkle them around till you get what looks good to you. Everybody's gonna have something in mind that they think they like better than what I'm doing here. So you can kind of go crazy with this stuff. They're really cool, and they save you a lot of time. I know they do with me. So yeah, what I did there is just merge those 2 layers together. And sorry about that. It was a phone going off, but yeah, you just merge those 2 layers, and now you got cool little flesh with dripping blood. And let's see here. I think what am I moving on to here? Yeah, just creating a new layer, going through. This is a hard round brush that I'm using. Okay, yeah, we're doing ice on this one. So yeah, this is just custom. I'm not using a font, just going in and writing out the word ice. And then what I'm doing here is just kind of adding some hard edges, like it's icicles kind of dropping down, sporadically. And, you just kind of do it to taste, what you think looks good. And, you might go in and make this look 10 times better than I am, but you know, I'm not. This is just for tutorial purposes to show you kind of how to work the brushes, so I'm not spending too much time in making this look super awesome. But I think you get the gist of the idea with this here. So yeah, just to continue through, adding in little icicles hanging from the ice, the frozen looking ice. It's real Arctic, cold looking. I added a new layer. This one's above the ice layer, and this one's actually snow. So using the same hard round brush that's pretty much a default brush in Photoshop, I'm slapping in what looks like a pretty cool texturized snow. You know, just kind of sprinkling it in. It's kind of like those you know, those old ads that are just super classic that you'll see on the ice bins outside of convenience stores and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just you know, if you think about the snow falling and it landing on the letters, it's just kind of finding those areas on the top, you know, where it needs to be. So yeah, just merge those two together, or you can create a smart object, like I said, and you're pretty much done with ice. And it's real good looking, convincing stuff. You know, and it saves you so much time, and in production work, it's just you know, it'll save you money. And aggravation and having to paint something up like that. I'm not sure what brush we moved on to here. I've moved on to slime. This is the more of the more liquid looking slime. And what's cool is it's, again, you can change these on the fly. I mean, that slime you can change into blood, and I'm just using the drip brush there. There's the more kind of like boogery looking slime. And then I switch back to the liquid one. So again, it's just you changing them on the fly. You get the base of the artwork in there, and you're pretty much good to go. You know, merge it down, rasterize it. You know, there's plenty of different techniques you can use to, you know, merge these down or rasterize the layer. You know, like here, I think I'm going to go back to the hard round brush, and I'm just kind of showing you like if you were doing neon lights. And just keep in mind, you can go into the layer style options and tweak them. You know, if you want to, like the drop shadow on this neon sign, you can kind of see it behind the lettering, the main lettering. You can do that. You can make it farther, take it completely off. And like what I'm showing you here, I customized them so you can just change the colors on the fly. And those are generally the primary colors that you're going to see on neon lights. I think here what I'm doing is I'm actually going to type in some text. I think everybody has the you know, the cliche neon fonts. I think I started searching, then I just went ahead and typed it in. Yeah, so there it is. Just typed it in. There's the font, and just go ahead and click onto the layer style, and it'll change it. And you know, you just go through the colors. If you're digging what you're seeing, you can then rasterize the type. Or like here, I'm showing you, you can customize. Go to the drop shadow. You know, take the drop shadow off or expand it out further. I kind of like that because it looked like it was on a standing away from the wall quite a bit. You know, when you're done, rasterize the layer style. Or this is the second technique: create a new layer and then grab both of the layers, select both of them, and then merge them, and it'll do the exact same thing. I've got so used to doing that in my workflow, so you can right click, rasterize layer style, or do it the way I did, create a new layer and merge them. What I just did there is just opened up levels. You can open up levels, curves, any layer adjustment once they're rasterized, and you can make the changes that you want. Boost the colors, make the neon sign a little hotter than it was. Here I think I'm grabbing a new font. I forget what the font is in this one, but it's an old English looking font, and I'm just going to chrome this one out. There's quite a few chromes in this one. You have a standard chrome. It's just monochromatic grayscale kind of stuff with some texture in there. It's pretty cool. This one's you got more of a realistic looking chrome with a fatter edge. Then you have a thin edged. This one's more of like a desert reflection to it. And this is kind of like my station wagon one. So this one's a good one to kind of show you how you can tweak. So you can see here the document size has the pattern a little off. So all you have to do is double click into the layer styles, head over to the pattern overlay tab, and then all you have to do, you can actually, once you're in that tab, you can move around the artwork. Or what I'm doing right here is using the scale bar to scale it down, and then clicking into the artwork and moving it and positioning it where I like it. So they're, again, like I said, they're fully customizable. The bulk of the work's done. It's really good looking stuff, and it will save you tons of time in your work. So what I'm showing here, I went back to the just a standard chrome. I'm going to scale it up a little bit, and just positioning the pattern where I like it. And once I have that, I'm done. And what I'm going to show you here is, I'm going to minimize the layer styles here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that layer. So I duplicate it. I'm going to select the one below it. And then from here, I actually set up some drop glows, and these are pretty cool to throw behind your chrome. You can see I'm slightly shifting them to the bottom right corner of the font, and then it's just clicking on the one that you like. They're tweaked out to look real nice. You can do the same thing, rasterize them, change the color, or boost the colors however you want. And I think here what I'm going to do is actually show you what I'm doing. I'm selecting both, and I'm converting them to smart objects. So you can see it merged them into one layer. I can now move them around together. And what's great about the smart objects, it holds the information. So you can edit. So what I'm doing right here, I'm actually transforming. I'm warping the layer. And generally, you would have to rasterize the layer, to be able to achieve this effect. Or keep it a live font layer, and you're not able to do stuff. All you have to do is, once you're done with the transform, double click on the smart object thumbnail. It'll bring up the actual work itself in a separate document, and then you can go in and change it on the fly using your layer styles again. If if you didn't like your client didn't like the green, they wanted to see some purple, kind of giving that 80s feel, you can do it on the fly. Save the document. Once it's saved, you can see that it updated in the document you're using it in. And smart objects, you'll definitely have to get to know those. Let me know in the comments section if you guys would like to see some more stuff on smart objects. It's pretty simple stuff, and very versatile in your work, and it's keeps you from being destructive with the stuff. So here I'm moving through, and I'm going to show you the water brushes that I have. I have 3 of those, a traditional looking kind of blue. That you can, again, what I'm doing here, just sprinkling it down. You can rasterize the layer, change the color. Here I just, kept it the same. I just changed it to just a liquid. And as you can see, that's just completely transparent. And you can leave it like that. You can rasterize it, which that one you'll actually have to tweak out a bit if you're going to rasterize it. I'll show you in a minute what it does, but you got to make sure there's a background on it when you do it. You merge them together. But what I'm showing here is you can go in and add condensation to something. Say you had like a beer that you wanted to make look a lot more refreshing and wetter. You would go in, create a new layer, slap that layer style on top of it, and just start adding little drops in there. Makes the beer look wet. You can see right here it's just very liquidy. Anything it's on top of makes it look like water spilt onto it. It's like a tabletop or something like that. But basically it just interacts. So what I did here, I rasterized it, and then from that rasterization you could actually go in and use your layer modes, multiply if you just wanted the darker values, or a soft light to get more of a faint looking condensation to it. So yeah, it's just really cool stuff. You can see as I move it around, it brings the texture with it. So your layer modes, color dodges, and all sorts of stuff you can apply to once you have that done. Really, really cool stuff. And I forget what I'm moving on to here. But basically that's what I was trying to highlight with that. So you got three of those, and they're pretty cool. And again, go into layer styles, tweak them out if you want to, make them exactly how you want. But I've got them set up to where they're looking great. If you don't want to have to go in and tweak them yourself, they're ready to go. This one here, I think what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and turn off everything but the chrome. And this brush itself alone is worth to $10. I use this one a lot in my production work, and it's flames. And what's cool is I'm using the smoke brush, so when you're done doing your flames, you're ready to go with the smoke. So yeah, this one doesn't matter. You don't have to pick a color. It's ready to go. And yeah, you're just kind of painting it. And if you got a Wacom tablet, you're on top of the world with this one. So as you can see, it's pretty convincing flames. Right here, I just like to get real fat and chunky at first, and then I add the streamers, as I like to call them, into the flame work. So, and when you're done with this, merge it down, rasterize the layer, go in and tweak it even more if you want to, which I do show you. I'm going to show you a little technique I do to get my flames looking pretty good. But again, this is quick and dirty, not trying to spend too much time. It's just for tutorial purposes, kind of show you what you can do. I'm rasterizing the layer type. Now, what I'm showing you here is how to take the transparency in your layer and use that as a mask. So, like I said, I rasterize it. You can boost it with layers, which I didn't, but I was just showing you. This is a technique I use to create masks for my transparency to use on other layers. So what I'm going to do is go to layer mask, and then I'm going to create a layer mask from transparency, as you can see with that selection. So I'll click on that, and it created a mask from the transparency, which is fantastic. I'm disabling it there to show you that Photoshop actually goes in and throws in some color behind it, so you got something to work with behind it. I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. And then what you want to do is to be able to duplicate your layer mask. All you do is click on the layer mask, hold Alt, and then drag it onto the layer you want to apply it to. So as you can see, it's applied the mask to the new layer. So now I can click on the layer, and then I can paint inside of it. But I'm going to use a layer mode, which is color dodge, because that's just going to boost the colors. It's like an overlay. I'm going to use yellow because it's bright and I want to make these flames hotter. And I'm just going to go in and start painting in areas I want the flames to be hotter. So you can take all the time in the world you want, or you don't have to. You can use the flames as is. Just do a quick curves on it or levels adjustment, and you're good to go. But yeah, this just shows you how versatile these layer styles can be for you in your production work and creating some pretty convincing looking artwork. So yeah, again, I'm not going to spend too much time. I went ahead and merged them down. You can duplicate them to make them hotter, then use your opacity. There's just all sorts of different. I mean, again, there's many different ways to skin a cat. So yeah, I'm just kind of turning everything on. You got flesh and ice, fire, neon signs, slime, chrome. I forget what I'm moving on to here. I'm going to show you a few last brushes. I know my time was kind of running out for this, so I think I went with chains on this. So again, keep in mind with this one, you can use a pen tool path and then stroke the path with this chain brush. I found this chain brush online and it was pretty grungy. I went in and created my own version of it, nice and clean. This will be a part of the free brush pack, if I could speak correctly, that you can just download for free. But if you want to support me in what I'm doing, please pick up the Layer Styles pack, and you'll have all this cool stuff included in it. But definitely look for this. It's free, and do what you want with it. So yeah, I just again, it's just slap on the chain layer, and it's kind of throws in some specular highlights with some shading and what have you. But do what you want. Pick any of the layer styles. Like you can see, I'm just using ice and chrome. Obviously, you'd have to go in and kind of tweak it a little bit, but make slime chains, ice chains, lava chains. There's just kind of no end to what you can do. I got gold and stone and all sorts of stuff in there. So yeah, right there I'm pointing to the burn holes. I'm going to show this. I think will be the last one I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. I'm going to use let's see here, a hard round brush, or actually let's see here, I think I end up using a more grungier brush. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, with the flesh and the old paper, you're going to kind of have to pick the color. Not too big of a deal, you can change it later, but I like to start with it. Yeah, just painting in like it's just a ripped up old piece of paper. brush it in nice and grungy on the edges. I'm going to go ahead and rasterize the layer style so it's kind of set in stone. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer and then slap on the burn holes layer style. This one has a little bit of work to it, nothing major. So what you're seeing here is I created the new layer, put it on top of the paper layer. I'm going to head up to the burn holes, which I added on. I'm going to use a hard round brush, and you'll see it's like the if you put a flame to a piece of paper, you blew the flame out and just let the embers start, continue burning into the paper. So that's kind of what's going on here. And please forgive me. I got a few people calling me right now, so you're probably hearing some ringtones here and there. But anyways, I'm using a grungy brush here to make it look, like it's kind of burning out. Rasterize the layer style, which I shouldn't have done first. I think I go back on that. What you want to do is hold Control, click on the thumbnail of the layer style before you rasterize, and then create a mask on the paper, invert the mask so it actually burns the holes through, and then you can merge them down. And then you can do what you want. Again, I'm not spending too much time on these, so they're not like the burn holes. You can make that look so much better. I'm just not spending a whole lot of time with it. Again, it's just to kind of show you the possibilities with this layer style pack. The download link for the free brush pack along with the layer style pack will be in the description below. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and follow me on my other networks. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support you give me, and I'll see you guys soon.